Hey, 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 all my bullet journaling friends. I'm back with my January setup, and this is crazy, right? I can't believe we're here and setting up January. Anyways, so moving on, you guys just seen my 2024 setup, and if you have not, I will put it up here in the eye above and link it in the description below, of course, so that you can go back and see that. We have moved into a 8x8 journal. No, unfortunately, it's not the Archer and Olive one. Hopefully, I will get one of those sooner than later. I missed the ball on that, and unfortunately they're not back in stock until mid-January, so I'm guessing not until February. So I'm going to stay on this one. If you, like I said, if you didn't see that setup, this is actually a 8x8 from Staples, and it's working. The pages are pretty thin. It's not Archer and Olive, right? So we're a little spoiled by our Archer and Olive paper. Don't get me wrong. So I am using this font. I believe this is an Allie Edwards. Alphas are awesome font. I will link this one below if you are interested in it, of course, because I do believe this one is still available. So we are definitely going to keep the trend of Dutch doors living through January. I'm pretty excited for these Dutch doors, though I will have to say you do have to plan a lot. And I'm also going to say that January's setup, if I even penciled it in, you guys. I even penciled it in because I'm like, I'm not going to make mistakes anymore. What is wrong with me? I don't. Anyways, I'm going to blame it on that we're in a new, journal. I'm going to blame it on that I was just getting comfortable. You're going to see the mistakes. So I was loving it. I was I still love it, but I did make some mistakes I made some mistakes, and then those mistakes led to more mistakes. So, all right. So we are going to cut around the January just with these scissors. I get as close as I can. This is not perfect by no standards. It doesn't need to be perfect. So it is what it is. I don't cut in between each letter. I just kind of cut around what my heart desires to cut around. As you can see with this Y, I'm not getting super in there. First of all, it was super awkward for some reason to cut around some of these. So we did the best we can. And that is going to be that. I don't know if I'm going to decorate more of this. I do believe I'm going to bring in some stickers from Tracy Reed's kit, probably those flowers, just to go around and decorate a little bit more. I'm not sure if I'll do that on film or not, but maybe you'll see it here in the next couple of setups. So all right, so we're just cutting off a piece of that. I did my Dutch doors about 10 squares, so 5 centimeters wide to put. I felt like that was a good border, right? So that was the first chunk that I cut from that, and you're going to see here in a minute. Also, this paper does not like to be pulled back up, and I found that out very quickly here. I was like, oh gosh, so much paper ripped up, but whatever. I was putting it right back down, so I could care less. Sorry, my head's probably about to get in the way. I can't remember if I said in the beginning that I did use Peacock ink from Close to My Heart. Sorry, I'm having some mic issues. I think my mic just gave out on me, unfortunately, and I can't remember what I said before. There we go. Look at how pretty that is. I love it. All right. So that was all the time I had for that day. So we are moving on again. Sorry for my head, to the monthly. Again, I have a whole new setup. I have a whole new bullet journal. I've changed my office completely. So I have a lot that I'm getting used to around here. So you're going to see it way before I see it. Can you see it? Put it in the comments below. Stop. Put it in the comments below. What is wrong with this page? I'm going to give you a second. Do you see it? I don't know how I didn't see it because I penciled it all in and then I retraced it all. What was I doing? Did you get it? There's 8. There's 8 days in the week now. I don't know. I was really trying to do the math when I was penciling it in, trying to figure out 4 blocks on one side and 3 blocks on the other side and make it look right. And for some reason, I just did 4 blocks on each side. Oh gosh, and I literally did not notice. I mean, I penciled this all in. You just seen me use my micron to get this all in. I am now doing highlights, doing my Tombow, highlight, whatever you want to call that. Still not even realizing, so I will here in a second. I don't think I throw my pen this time like I did in my 2024 setup. But I'm like, oh my God. And I don't even realize it, honestly, numbering it until I'm almost to the end. And I'm like, I'm to 29 and have like 4 more boxes to go. What in the world is happening? I don't know where. I mean, I know I was listening to a show and I was just in my own world, but I'm literally right here. And dump. There it was. So anyways, that was the first cut of that paper. So luckily, I still had the edges that lined up, and my solution to covering up this mess was to literally cover it up with more paper. So I am going to take some pattern paper, some correction tape, and go over here. I'm going to almost forget to do it. And then I'm like, oh wait, I wanted to cover up more of those lines right there. I'm like, oh wait. So I did pull that one back up. I'm going to take some correction tape and at least cover up my lines there. So you don't see those. And I'm just going to get rid of the 4th box on this side. I figured that was probably the easiest. There we go. And then I am going to go renumber. I do not go back and renumber it on this video. It is currently renumbered. I had to dig into my old stash of planner stickers and find the little date dots. But now I have like this, I don't know, 4-inch box of pattern paper. And I'm like, what do I do with this? And I'm like, oh, you know what? Let's go back to our first thought of what we were going to do. And I was going to use my handwriting pretty much, or my brush writing, to write January. But I didn't end up doing that, and I used the stamps. So I'm like, well, why don't I use the stamps and write out January, since January is nowhere on this monthly yet, and put it over there to break up the pattern paper. This was all well and good, except for I should have moved it over because I put it smack dab in the middle. You're going to see here. I do love how all of this lined up. And then I did fussy cut this all out. So yeah, it took me a little bit of time, but I don't mind fussy cutting. Honestly, I do it a lot in scrapbooking. And I just go to town. I love how I made sure it was all lining up. Checked 45 million times that I was spelling it right. So we're going to fussy cut that out. Again, not a perfect cut either. I'm just kind of just going around. And I'm going to put it down over here. And you're going to see, like, I put it down right in the middle and don't think about my Dutch door. So now when I flip back to my cover spread, you see and I'm like, ugh, that doesn't work. But I'm not pulling this back up because it's going to leave a huge hole. It's over. It's done. I've covered up my mess. It is what it is, guys. Like, I can't do anything more. Like, I've used all my brain power to work on that. So it's just like, I can't do it anymore. So moving on, we are going to move on to another calendar. And this will be my meal planner and my content calendar for all of my social media. I'm going to see if I can fit it all onto one this month. I do not want to draw out that many calendars. As you can see, it's not my specialty. It's not my specialty. And I tend to mess them up for some reason, even though they're the easiest things in the world, but I tend to mess them up. So I'm going to do this once. I am really trying to just have 2 master calendars for meal planning and do the same meals every month. We don't generally have the same meal in the month, other than tacos and like chicken tacos. So having 2 calendars that I can flip between the 2 so that we can get a few extra meals in there is pretty perfect. I mean, we don't have 60 different meals really that we eat anyways. So that is what I'm working on for 2024. And that way also it makes my grocery ordering a whole lot better. So you see me counting like I did do 7, right? I did do 7. So, all right. So that is going to be the end there. The other part is going to be a fitness tracker, but I just haven't figured out what I kind of want to do with that fitness tracker. And I have already started setting up my dailies since this is like the 3rd that I'm doing this. But yeah, that is pretty much my setup for January. I'm trying to keep it as simple as I possibly can. You see me, I'm kind of just like going back and like checking things out, erasing things since I was kind of doing this all at one time. I just separated it into 2 videos. And I am going to update you on how I'm going to do my weekly spreads, in like a running to-do list pretty much way, and that is probably going to finish it up. I am going to sit here, I believe, and put a few finishing touches on this weekly spread with a few yeah, I'm gonna just cut out just a few little bits of paper to put up at the top and the bottom. And then I also need to add in a habit tracker somewhere, but I wasn't going to do that in the first week of January. I'm going to give myself a minute to get back into the routine of life. We really fall off the bandwagon when the kids get out of school. I literally just let them kind of do what they want and do chores in between. So we definitely have to get back into the swing of things. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching and going through all of the craziness and mistakes that I make. But hopefully it helps you figure out when you make a mistake, how you can clean it up, right? All right, guys, leave a comment below if you love this spread or the setup, I guess I should say, with a number 1. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.